Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, as you can see, we are doing the April 3rd NA Just for Today reading, and it is on the topic of For You Alone. Okay? The idea of a spiritual awakening takes many different forms and different personalities that we find in the fellowship. And that can be found in our basic text, Big Book, page 49, NA book. Though we all work the same steps, each of us experience the spiritual awakening resulting from them in our own way. The shape that spiritual awakening takes in our lives will vary, of course, depending on who we are. So some of us, the spiritual awakening promised in the 12th step will result in a renewed interest in organized religion or mysticism. Others will awaken to an actual understanding of the lives of those around them, experiencing empathy, perhaps for the first time. Still, others will realize that the steps have awakened them to their own moral or ethical principles. So most of us experience our spiritual awakening as a combination of these things. Each combination as unique as the individual who's been awakened. So if there are so many different varieties of spiritual awakenings, how do we know if we've truly had one? Well, the 12th step provides us with two signs. We've found principles capable of guiding us well, the kind of principles we want to practice in all of our affairs, right? So, and we've begun to care enough about other addicts or alcoholics to freely share with them the experience that we've had ourselves. So no matter what the details of our awakening are like, we are all given the guidance and the love we need to live fulfilling, spiritually oriented lives. So just for today, remind ourselves of this. Regardless of its particular shape, my spiritual awakening has helped me fill my place in the world with love and life. For that, I am grateful. And for that, I am grateful. What a good reading. I like that reading. I got a couple minutes to spend with you. And when we're truly guided by the principles of this program, the steps, the formula, we see success. We see how it plays out, and we see success in that. So when we're guided by these principles every day, and we do them every day, when we practice them in all our affairs, and we actually practice them in our life and in our ups, our downs, our slips, our trips, our wins, our losses, we're going to come up with a combination of things that we know will work for us. Sometimes we're going to go up against things that we are going to be daunted by, and we're going to be like, okay, this isn't going to take a normal approach. We're going to have to do something different this time, and that happens all of the time in recovery. Every day it happens. We're presented with something, and like I talked about yesterday in the video, yesterday and the day before, sometimes we find ourselves on easy street, right? And we're just coasting through life, cruising through, and we're just doing life on life's terms, and we're asking for God's will to be done, and everything seems to be going good, and then all of a sudden, boom, we'll hit something, we'll hit a slip or a trip or a mistake or an up or a down, and we'll say or do something that isn't jiving with our program, and we'll feel some shame or guilt or resentment or anger or anything of the under the umbrella, right, of things, people, places, behaviors, ways, bad habits, things that'll get us into a rut. And even a bad day can get us into a rut. And I'm around people that are just wonderful people. I'm around wonderful, inspirational, positive people all the time. And if I'm not around them, I'm trying to be like that myself. So, I always want to present myself in a way that's real, you guys. I share the good and the bad with y'all. And I hope that people, while listening to the bad and the good, obviously, both, will learn something. Will learn that, hey, maybe I don't need to go through that, or maybe that's something I need to go through. Or it's a two-way street. It's both sides, two-sided coin, right? So look at it this way, as if you see somebody doing something that is proven successful, why not emulate that or be an example to lead other people to that same conclusion or that same solution? Because the same things that we carry into from yesterday, it can be a problem or it can be a solution. We carry both into the next day, right? So why not carry good things? And why not have a pattern and a system and a systematic cycle of how you do things and how you approach this life and have success, amen, in our recovery. So what does that look like? Because a lot of us depend on that divine design for our life, right? God, we have a spiritual awakening, as our reading said, and a spiritual awakening for everybody is different. And how do we know if we've truly had one? I think the only way to really truly know if you've had a spiritual awakening is to have one. There is nothing else to be said about that. There is no other way of describing it, right? You only know what one is if you've been through one. And if you've been through one, you know what it is. And if you haven't, then you don't. And so pray for that. Ask God to put a awakening in your life, or will it into your existence, or however you do your life. Get it into the design that you need, because having that spiritual awakening it's the matter of life or death, right? So hey, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for being such wonderful people, subscribers, friends, family. I have a lot of people in my corner, and I realize that. And the system that we work depends on others, right? The recovery program that we work, rather, it depends on others, because it's a program of we. Some of us aren't practicing abstinence from alcohol. Some of us are. Some of us are still drug addicted. Some of us aren't. Some of us are still doing the old ways, bad habits, stinking thinking, and some of us aren't. And I think when we look at the world and we look at society, we can tell on the peripheral, or on the outside, right, on the surface level, who is working a program that's successful and who's not, who's still drinking and who's not, who's still doing drugs and who's not, who's still entertaining the bad ways, stinking thinking, and in the old ways that we are trying to get ourselves away from. So it's pretty glaring to me. I can see who's doing it and who's not, and I can tell. And so for me, I'm following the people that are working a program that's successful. They're kind, they're generous with their time, they're honest, and they're willing to stay abstinent, because working a program isn't easy. And sometimes a lot of people will go back to the drinking or the drugging and have a relapse, and then they won't come back out of it, and we'll lose that person to the drug addiction, to the alcohol addiction, gambling, sex. It could be a number of different things, but there are people out there that are working programs, and thank you to those people who are doing that and staying positive and maintaining that will for our life, and asking for the divine design to come down. Because you know what, a lot of us just think that we can do it on our own. It's our problems, it's our solutions, it's our wins, it's our losses. We get these things, we get them given to us. We get the blessings in our lives. We get the lessons, the blessings, and then we have to ask for these things, right? We have to need it. We have to want it. We have to seek it, yearn it. If you want a successful recovery program, it's not going to be handed to you. You can ask for it all you want, but you got to go out and you got to work hard for that. And then when we get on Easy Street someday, you can share a message with other people and say, hey, you know what? This is how I succeeded. This is how I didn't succeed. And it goes hand in hand with all of us, because we all need to hear who's winning at what and who's losing at what, so we don't need to maybe slip and trip on those same things ourselves. So hey, thank you guys for listening. I love talking about recovery. It's just one of my absolute favorite things, because it affords me to actually use my know-how and my wisdom and my knowledge. And today was a good day. We helped a client immensely. It's a very rewarding day. Awesome coworkers. My coworkers are great, and everybody's positive, wants to do a good job and get the job done. And at the end of the day, we have a job to do for our clients. So I was really proud of my team today. So I'll catch you on the next one, you guys. God bless. Have a good Thursday. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.
The collusion delusion is over. America will never be a socialist country. China has total respect for Donald Trump. You heard our vets? You stole from us? You're fired. You're fired. Get out. Oh, Don, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.
Found this pen today on the job. It's quite unique.
China! 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 We live by two simple rules. Buy American and hire American. I think I'm doing a great job. I would give myself an A+. Is that enough? Can I go higher than that? Simply put, walls work and walls save lives. And yes, together, we will make America great again.